Hello guys, I'm Mariano, the Trading Parrot. In my past two videos in CoinViewer Trading, I've been covering altcoins. 4 days ago, I made this video called The Return of the Altcoins. The biggest takeaway of that video is what patterns do we need to be paying attention to know when it's the end of the cycle for the altcoins. And I know that with the recent performance of the altcoins after that very short altcoin season, just judging by so little time that we spent above 75 in the index, it made it feel like it's the end, but in my opinion, it's not even the beginning. 2 days ago as well, the proof of that is I published this video talking about blood in the streets. And you know what they say, buy when there's blood in the streets. In this particular video, the focus is going to be from a new, different angle. I believe that what happened early December with the altcoins is just a small taster of what we're going to experience in early 2025, in worst case at some point in 2025. So this video is going to focus on what are the next steps for altcoins. We're going to analyze total free against Bitcoin and others against Bitcoin again, using both the weekly and the monthly chart. We will be able to quantify potential targets. We're going to use X-ray tools in here, using the unknown secrets of RSI in a way that the next time you hear someone else telling you, are you using RSI? You are such a beginner. You're just going to have that feeling of joy inside that you know the best alpha out there. I promise you what you're gonna see in this video is gonna be pretty revealing, just like the past two videos. I do recommend you watch the 3 of them to be in a better position to think about altcoins. If something doesn't make sense the first time you watch the video, don't get frustrated, take a breather, join my Telegram, Instagram or Twitter accounts and talk to the rest of the people that have been watching my video for a lot longer. I've noticed that on my Telegram, there's already a parrot army of people explaining the newcomers how to interpret these things, which is really helpful because videos become really boring if I have to repeat myself over and over. Guys, if you like this type of videos, make sure that you're subscribed to CoinViewer Trading. Dan, Aaron, and myself, we publish videos every day, and I'm committed to publish 3 videos a week in CoinViewer Trading. But if you want to stay on top of the Bitcoin price action and altcoins, make sure that you're also subscribed to the Trading Parrot. In this channel, I do everything that's possible to publish up to 3 videos per day, which has been a challenge in the past week with family commitments as well, and with the holidays coming in, so many preparations. But anyways, let's get into the content. Alright, I have to admit that this video came from a request that someone wrote, I believe on Telegram, asking, can you please review others against BTC? And I think what they mean is to do the ratio, the spread chart. So this is others over BTC. That's the way you do it. You have to put the slash to separate both assets. Remember, you have all arithmetic symbols on the right hand side when you're writing a symbol, so you can combine as many as you want. In this video, we're going to use others over BTC using the index, and then we're going to look as well total free against BTC. The reason I'm using others is because I really care what happens with the altcoins below the top 10 market cap, and that's precisely what others is. I want to see when altcoins in general are all pumping and not just when Ethereum is pumping, which might be a little bit too early. So still we're going to look into total free. Remember, the flow of altcoins goes Bitcoin, then top 3 market cap, and it starts going back down in order from bigger market caps to smaller. As you can see in my chart, I'm looking at others at the moment, and I'm observing the 2 bull rallies that there's been in the history of altcoins. I'm gonna ignore the area of 2014, 2015, because at that point there was not that much activity. Altcoins became a thing pretty much in 2018. Then we have a second cycle that topped by the end of 2021, and we still haven't had anything this cycle. So just doing a very naive look at this chart, we can observe that cycles are pretty much creating a blow of top so far, and then having a dead cat bounce, and then they hit the bear market, then they have some sort of early rally. This was end of 2020, December, and from that bottom we start having that rally that goes into the next blow of top, which happens around January, February in 2022. So if we were to do something like that, just judging by the price, we could argue that we are in an area like this, December 2020. This is December 2024. So we are expecting to enter in 2025, which is equivalent in the cycle of Bitcoin to whatever we did in 2021. So let's be naive and let's imagine that this is going to go all the way to this area once again, just thinking maybe altcoins are going to expand, repeating the same pattern in the price. So let's spark that first idea and let's think for a moment, what can RSI do? So if you're familiar with my channel, the next part of the video is going to be very familiar. If you're new to the channel, pay attention, but if not everything makes sense, just continue watching the videos. At some point, by osmosis, you're going to absorb all these ideas. Feel free to leave me comments down below. I'll try to reply most of them. If not, find me in Telegram. All my social links can be found in any of my videos in the channel The Trading Parrot on YouTube. Just check the description. Make sure that you don't take any links from anyone else. Never private messages. If you're talking to me by a private message, you're being scammed. That's not me. So I'm going to focus on RSI. Let me change the color of this. And this is kind of the forecast that I'm thinking of. You can see that the blow off top, and I'm putting a red circle around the area where we actually top. In the first cycle, you can see that the blow off top came with a bearish divergence, right? So price went from this top and put a new high, whereas the top of the RSI in that cycle doesn't match the top of the price. The top of the price is this one that is already lower. That's the definition of a bearish divergence. Next cycle, we did the opposite. We got a first high of the price at 6 million with 75 RSI, and then the RSI made it to 76.71, and we got a higher high as well in the price. That is not a bearish divergence. We can notice as well that the actual best timing to exit based on a signal or pattern that I can see just by looking at RSI and nothing else is the first time that the RSI makes a pivot high that doesn't cross above the moving average, and that happens right here. Let's place this horizontal line there. You can see that is the pivot that couldn't get above the moving average. And in this cycle, this is that pivot, a pivot high, not higher than that, that's fine, and not higher than the moving average. That's where we are done, okay? So you get 1, 2, 3 explosive moves to the upside, and here you get 1, 2, 3, unless you also want to count July in 2016 or August in 2020. So we can say more or less it's 3 if we don't count the one in September, which is just too small, and in 2021 there was no pivot there. So let's ignore this small one and let's say that there are 3 explosive moves, and let's say as well that they are not necessarily making new highs. In here you get a higher high, and then one below the MA. In 2016 and 17 we get a higher high, and then the next one is not. So we can observe that if there is bearish divergence, the third one doesn't necessarily take the second one. So let's take away those patterns, and now let's focus on the beginning of the rally for the altcoins. We already covered the end. Now we're going to cover the beginning. The beginning in here is very difficult to find because there is not enough history before 2015. That is a problem because what we are looking for is for a breakout from the top of the range of RSI to the bottom, something like this trend line that makes it very clear once connecting the tops, and then we can say January 2020, that's my breakout, that's the area that I want to be accumulating and betting that the altcoins are going to have a great time coming in the upcoming year. If we look at where we are right now, you can see that from the top, once again, connecting it with the next pivot, we have done a breakout in November. And that's where I want to bring you back into the index to observe that this move in here, where we made it to 88, that is just the move to produce the breakout. Now, this move down that we are seeing in here, being absolutely technical and absolutely focused just on the charts and nothing else, ignoring any potential for a catastrophe in the general markets, a war or whatever there is scaring everybody, including the dollar becoming stronger, no rate cuts next year, and all that stuff. If we just focus on the charts, we can see that after the breakout, the index is also confirmed in that. The index is happy. It went to 88. It said, I'm gonna get started, just a little cocktail right before the actual dinner, the feast. And what happened after? We came back down to an index of 49. That is precisely above the 47 that we couldn't break out before, right? We got 47, second time, third time breakout. That was just magnificent move up, but then we came back down to 47, which perfectly matches that number there. So we got a narrative, at least to claim as of today, that where we are is just a retest of the breakout. If now we were back in Bitcoin season, we could start saying that maybe, just maybe, we are absolutely wrong and this was just a trap and it's gonna collapse so many investors in here, in altcoins, that they're just gonna decide not to come back for quite a while. Talking about 6 months, maybe 3 months, the best case. But if we hold there at 47 and we do another attempt to the top, that will perfectly match what the breakout on the monthly is currently doing. Let's do a little bit of surgery here and let's use X-rays to observe really what's going on in the monthly on the RSI. Others are pretty much with that 88 altcoin season managing to exit from a W bottom formation, not just here in the local area, but also relative to what we did in June in 2023, right? So we are coming back to the same place, putting that double bottom. And I remember when we were bottoming in here, people were saying this feels just like the rest of the bull market, which has been horrible. And I agree. Here was the most pain. Here there was the most pain. And now recently with this move down from 88 to 47, people say this just feels like a disaster once again. And that's when they are going to throw the towel. And as long as this doesn't become a fake out, putting a lower low and then coming back out from there, this will be remembered like the best confirmed entry for a breakout towards the top. In the previous cycle, that will mean or will look more or less like being in January 2020, where we had a rally into August 2020, and then in December 2020, we're more or less matching where we are right now. We came back down and we put something similar to this pattern in there. Okay, so this one, yes, is a little bit late, because the breakout in here happened in January 2020. The breakout in here is happening in November 2024. That is more or less 10 to 11 months later than the breakout in the previous cycle. So absolutely, we have to admit that altcoins have been really crap, and this chart is confirming that altcoins are more or less 1 full year late. So what can we expect of altcoins being late 1 year? Well, that our top for the altcoins should pretty much be expected to also be either 1 year late or last for less time than it did in the previous cycle. There's only two options, unless we say this cycle there won't be any altcoin season. It's going to be the cycle of only Bitcoin, which I believe there is some people believing that, advocating for it, saying, dude, just ignore the altcoins this cycle. This is the cycle of institutions. Retail is not here, and all cash will go just to Bitcoin. Altcoins are going to underperform massively. I don't think that is the case. I think at some point we're going to start seeing liquidity coming in, something will break, and we will see some sort of pattern towards this red rhyming with the 3 peaks that you can see here, 1, 2, and 3. So it's either going to be 1, 2, and 3, higher, 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 or it's going to be 1, 2, and then the third doing a bearish divergence like this, right? And that is still price going higher and higher and higher. So I want to talk about that target now, because I know what I promised in the beginning, in the introduction of the video, is that this video is going to be all about magnitude that we can expect. And what better than using the RSI to look at this top of 66 on the RSI monthly to start talking about magnitude. Now, before we move into that 66, keep in mind this. I just said that we can do 3 consecutive higher highs on the RSI, or just 2 and then a lower high, okay? So if we get to 65 with the third top hitting that, then that is the blow of top, that is the top for the price as well. If we do it with a bearish divergence, then this one is the top. Look at the left hand side. In here, that is the top, or this one is the top, right? Are you still with me? I hope so. If not, play it again or ask someone else to help you understand it. I'm trying to do my best so you can take away the whole thing, the core of what I am thinking. And bear in mind, this is not financial advice. All you need is a massive global scale war to take all of this and just bin it the next day, okay? This is trading. There's nothing guaranteed, and I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know anything I'm talking about. Are you still here? Let's continue. Now we're going to move on to 66 RSI target on the monthly. We're going to talk about the area that we are now testing as support, which is 43, 44 on the RSI. And we're going to talk about that 39 or 40 that is the double bottoming formation that we should ideally not take out with a new lower low, okay? That will be almost like going back into bear market, resetting the whole thing, making everything a lot more risky or riskier. To be honest, sometimes I feel good about saying things wrong in English. There is some sort of pressure in being a little bit provocative and an influencer. I kind of enjoy it. Okay, let's go back to technical analysis and let's leave psychology and weirdness out of the way. So we got a 65 that I calculate as the top. I also said 66 if I remember right, so slightly higher. Was my second reading, and that is more or less around here. You're gonna notice that that level is not matching the top that we are looking in the price, okay? So if we go straight into that level, we just reach that. We need a few pullbacks to start building a higher target. With just one movement up, we cannot go beyond that if we reach RSI 66. It sounds a bit confusing, so just imagine this move, then a pullback, move, pullback, move, pullback. One single move can only reach that level. It needs another pullback to start creating a full parabolic, multi-step kind of top of the market. Let's contrast that against the Fibonacci retracement, but before we do that, let's look at the support, because in the RSI, we talk about the support of the breakout, the retest, and the double bottom at 39. So we got 43 and 39 in orange and in red, and looking closer at the price, you can see that that is the support that we have managed to hold this month at 3.27. Remember that this 3.27 million doesn't make any sense as a number. We are doing a ratio. We are dividing the value of others by the price of Bitcoin, giving us a number that doesn't mean anything. What means something is the actual ratio, the location in the chart of these different candle highs, close, open, etc. The bottoming price is 265, which is a lower low relative to this bottoming formation. So it means that if we reach once again these levels of RSI, we will have taken both the lows of June and the lows of November. So that means new lower lows to reach that RSI. That's why we don't want to get even close to that. In 2019, we put this low and then a higher low in December 2020, which is equivalent to now. So ideally, if this comes back down, it should stop at the trend line. And if it doesn't, it shouldn't go beyond 39, because at that point, we completely break the structure to start breaking out and really have a decent cycle for the altcoins. But so far, it's looking so good, right? It's a healthy breakout with a retest. On the Fibonacci, using this impulsive move from June into December 2023, then into the lows of November, it's telling us that our next resistance should be the 1618. That coincides with the resistance of the order block. This is September 2022. So the prices at September 2022 of others is our next resistance if we manage to cross beyond the prices that we managed to get around December to March this year. Okay. So in March, the altcoin season was around here. So what we need to do now is come back to that performance and surpass it and go beyond that to the highs of September 2022, which is this altcoin season that we experience in the middle of the bear market, okay? if that is confusing, let me put it very clear. The performance of March that looked pretty decent, we need to do double that, okay? We need to go to the next level of resistance in the short term. How fast should it be? Well, in January 2021, we have pretty much 4 months in a row that went 400% in performance. This is not percentage of price, it's percentage of the spread. So don't get too hooked up in the specific percentages, but take it as a relative measurement that is the best part of the season. January into May should be the best part of what's about to come. That's what the chart is saying based on seasonality. And I think although Bitcoin has managed to do a lot more than the previous cycle, the altcoins are in the opposite way. They have done nothing yet, okay? We are at the bottom of the range for the altcoins. So pretty much whatever we do, whether we complete the full target or just half of it, is going to be disappointing most of the people that are at the moment very negative about what's to come. And I personally think that the more frustrated people get, the more we are gonna get. And the more bullish they are about an altcoin season about to come, the worse performance we should expect, the shorter in terms of timing, but also in terms of magnitude as well. If we manage to reach that 66, which is in here, and we do it with 2 moves up, and then we come back down, that dead cat bounce there should allow us to get to higher prices as well. So that is something that if you're taking notes, or if you haven't taken any, at least take note of that, because that's very important, I think. Second thing is the exit, right? I mentioned the exit is a pivot that doesn't manage to get as high as the moving average. From below is disaster zone. Now I'm gonna go into total 3 against BTC, and we're gonna give a little bit more of a short-term view of where we are at the moment in the market, okay? So if we look at December 2020, which is similar to where we are in the cycle right now, okay? At that point, total 3 put the lowest low against Bitcoin, okay? The full bleeding, lower low, and the worst low was December 2020. In this cycle, Total 3 has been already creating a channel to the upside on the weekly time frame and breaking above outside the channel, finally putting this high. That is thanks to the 88 altcoin season index explosion, right? And what is it doing now? It's coming back for a retest at around 45 RSI. So far, that is that level there, and we have just kissed it once during this week, and we bounce off again. So at some point, the RSI, I guess it was at 44.80 or something, and it bounced to 49.18. That's why we can see that there is a week that it touches it. Where is the last line in the sand? That is at 33. So let's add that now in here to build that cushion below the price. Let's say 33. So that gives us a new low if we wanted to fully reset. But if we do that, then the breakout becomes a fake out, and it takes a little bit of the momentum to the upside. But that could be also a great new entry. And I will assume that in here, there's again massive blood in the streets, but a great entry nevertheless. So I think for total, we should be expecting either the retest and then another high, or a retest against that 33 and then building and continuing with this channel to the upside. The previous time that we did that in the previous cycle, the channel was formed like this, but in December, there was a massive breakdown on the altcoins. At that point, Bitcoin was pumping like crazy in December, going from 20K to 30 something, and that took all the dominance once again, crushing the altcoins. But once Bitcoin started to settle, then the altcoins came back once again, and they had the best rally from 25 RSI, total 3 to 89. So massive spread of the momentum from the very bottom to the very top. So expect in this area in here, while Bitcoin is also deciding what to do, that the altcoins are going to move all over the place. And that's why I will say trading altcoins at this point in the cycle, it's better to do it on spot, because with leverage, you know, these shakes of RSI from 72, then the next weeks you're at 24, and then the next weeks you're at 89. It doesn't get more volatile than that, and that is purely because of people using too much leverage. So if you're part of that group, drop that leverage to just 2x. Really, it doesn't allow you to do much more than that without getting fully wrecked. So I will say that the biggest takeaway of the video tonight is look for the candle close on New Year's Eve, okay? Prepare your chart on the monthly with orders over BTC, put a trend line from the top in here, connect it with the 1st of March, and then see where we close on the monthly on this spread. How decent it looks the retest. Are we below the trend line? Are we above the trend line? If you are already invested, you can continue to hold if that's your plan and still look at this and say it's not smelling good, or I might add a little bit more, or I'm out of this. This is entering disaster area. In this video, I'm not aiming to give any advice, just like any other of my videos, but to give you awareness, context, because it's about you deciding how much can you tolerate the risk, how much you believe that we are going to make it to these levels in this cycle once again, or if you're expecting a recession next year. Everybody's different. But whatever you do, I wish you the best of lucks for 2025. And guys, if you want to trade altcoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any coins on spot without leverage, look no further than Bybit and OKX. Together, these two exchanges pretty much cover all the altcoins that you can think of. They offer a wide array of tools, like for example trading bots, grid bots, DCA bots, signal bots connected directly to TradingView, copy trading, whatever you can think of. And as well, they offer pretty much the largest bonuses and discounts on trading fees when using the links in the description. But if you want to stay away from KYC, if that's not your thing, then consider one of my non-KYC exchanges, starting with Bluffing, that is offering 100k bonus based on trading volume and 70% fee discount, link in the description as well. This is the key to not have to do KYC, getting multiple accounts with different emails, not needing VPN subscriptions to run it. Although I have heard that maybe in less than 1% of the locations in the world, some people have reported needing to use a VPN. If that's the case, I will say give it a try before you deposit any funds in the exchange. If they ask you to use a VPN where you live, then you may want to consider instead 2bit. I'm pretty sure that one of them won't require any VPN, which is really annoying to have to be switching VPN on the go every time you want to do something, or forgetting about it and then getting issues with the account. So better to not need it, of course. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next update tomorrow on the Trading Parrot channel. Subscribe as well. Bye bye.